Howdy, welcome to the Houston is Home podcast, where we celebrate the people and places that make Houston our home. I'm your host, Austin Jackson, and joining me today is my co-host, Charity Ellis. How are you doing today, Charity?
Doing great. Happy to be here.
Awesome. So today we are on our first episode of our Houston is Home podcast, and I'm just really excited. This is something that I've always wanted to do and just really talk about a city that I love so much that I call home. So Charity, talk to me a little bit about this podcast and what you envision for our show.
Well, I loved whenever you shared this idea with me, and I think what I love most is that Houston is truly an amazing city, being, of course, one of the most diverse cities in the world, and just the people that I've personally been able to meet throughout my journey. I love hearing the stories of people that live here, and then I also love hearing about new places to visit. So those are some of the things I'm excited about
Awesome.
Even myself, selfishly, learning about new places, meeting new people, and hearing their stories.
Yeah, definitely. And
How about you?
That's really what my goal and intention is to bring you some of those people that call Houston home, some of those amazing and people that just bring so much energy to our city and make it what it is. Everything from downtown, from inside the loop to the suburbs, people that call Houston home, and we want to share their story, share their reason why they live here, things that they enjoy, places they visit, places that they go eat, and the arts, the culture. Like you said, that Houston is one of the most diverse cities in the world, and we really want to celebrate those people. So that's my intentions for that, and just to be a resource for everybody that's living in Houston, for people that are thinking about moving to Houston, for people that just want to learn more about our city in the greater Houston area. That's really what I want this podcast to be, and the message that I hope we get the opportunity to share kind of moving forward and going through this process. So we're so glad everybody is here joining us. I'm glad to be talking with you today and really diving into this.
Yeah. So what's your favorite thing to do in Houston?
My favorite thing to do in Houston, man, I love to eat. So, and my favorite thing is going out to eat to some of the amazing restaurants.
Yeah.
And whether it's barbecue or a hamburger or pizza or Italian food or Chinese food. And it's just, we have so many different options, so many great restaurants, so many really cool places that you can go enjoy with your family, whether it's just you and your significant other going out to eat on a romantic dinner, or going out and having relaxing with the guys, or going out with your kids and your family. There's so much that we can do here in Houston. So that's really what excites me most about Houston.
So it's all about the food for you.
Food. Yeah, food.
Bottom line, it's all about the food.
Food and sports. I'm good. That's about for me. How about yourself?
I don't know. We love to go to the museums. We love the Museum of Fine Arts. My husband and I have had a membership there for years and years, and so we love to do that on a date night. Or I also love the Miller Outdoor Theater or Cynthia Woods Mitchell Pavilion, outdoor concerts. I love that Houston has so much of that to offer. So those are some of my favorite things.
Awesome.
Museums.
Nice.
Concerts.
Yeah, and there's so much that we can really go into or have available for us to enjoy, and it's just a special place to call home, and just to be out there, go out in our community. So really wanting this to be something that where we can build community, serve the community, and help people find their community.
Absolutely.
And really just kind of dive into that. So I appreciate you sharing what you like about Houston.
Tell me why you call Houston home.
I was actually born in the greater Houston area. I originally grew up on the north side of town, and now I live on the south side of town with my family, my wife and my two beautiful little girls. There was only a few short years that I didn't call Houston home, where when I was going to college, and I played baseball at a small junior college in North Texas for a little bit, and then I ended up graduating from Texas A&M, and then got a job in the oil and gas industry, which brought me back to my hometown, and got to work there and really start and plant my own roots with my own family, and really just kind of experience those things. And like I said, my family are pretty much native Houstonians. I have family that dates back all the way to the 1840s and 1870s that immigrated to Houston and called this home from the very beginning, from a great uncle that owned properties off White Oak Bayou and rented those properties out, to my family all being entrepreneurs and building a business in the greater Houston area, from insurance, real estate. And it's really helped and brought me the passion that I have for this city, and has really allowed me to take that transition to where building my career, establishing my family and what I do here. And it's really, really cool. And I want to be able to give back to the community and provide value to the city of Houston that I've called home for my whole life.
Yeah.
How about yourself?
Why do I call Houston home?
Yeah, why do you call Houston
Well,
home?
actually, it was my dad's decision when I was 16 years old. Probably not the happiest day of my entire life, but he's a minister, and he came in one day and said we were moving to Houston in the middle of 10th grade to a city like Houston from a place in Mississippi. So it was a journey. It has been a journey, but looking back, I'm so glad that my dad made that call that day to bring us to Houston because it's introduced me to a world of opportunities. After
Awesome.
high school, I was able to go to the University of Houston Clear Lake and then work in the nonprofit industry in the Greater Bay Area for a while, and then go back to University of Houston Clear Lake, work there, and then since then I've been in sales and now in real estate, and I love being able to help people find Houston and find their community in Houston. There's so many great suburbs as well, and be able to call Houston home themselves.
Awesome. So what has really kept you here in Houston for so long?
Oh my goodness. Probably my husband. When I
Yeah.
married him, I told him, you know what? I know for sure marrying you that I'll probably live and die in Houston the rest of my life. So I'm okay with signing up with that as long as he takes me somewhere else at least once a year that I've
Awesome.
never
Yeah,
been.
get out of the Houston humidity and those type of
As
things.
much as I love Houston, I
Yeah.
also love traveling one day when we can travel again.
Awesome. So if you're staying within Houston area and enjoying some of the amazing things that Houston has to offer, what do you and your husband, you and your family like to do on the weekends?
Sure.
Kind of dive into that.
We love the Miller Outdoor Theater. I love it. My husband doesn't love the mosquitoes so much, but I love to bring us all out there. It's so fun and relaxing just on a Friday night or a Saturday. We've even now been able to do Uber Eats or something, to deliver the food from whatever restaurant you want straight to the park. I don't know if I should be saying that, but they'll deliver it straight to the park for you, and it's really fun.
That's so cool.
Everybody can get what they want. You can watch a show. We also love the museum district, so I love the Houston Museum of Natural Science for my boys. I have a 14-year-old and a 6-year-old, and they both love that place. Of course, the Houston Zoo. We just love finding new places. I love that. Really, in Houston, I believe you should never eat at the same place twice.
Yeah.
My husband disagrees, but I believe you should never have to eat at the same place twice. There's enough restaurants where you
Awesome.
truly don't have to eat too. So we love to discover new restaurants, new food, new places, new people. So much to do. How about y'all? What are your favorite things to
Well,
do?
one of my favorite things is food,
Yep.
of course, and that's really what excites me. I don't want to say excites me most about Houston, but I love the food and the different things that are here and that we can enjoy,
Yeah.
and the people that serve that food and the communities that it creates at the restaurants and those type of things. Everything from some of the best barbecue in the world to everything international cuisines and things that support and bring the different diverse cultures that
Right.
we have here in Houston together. It is so really cool. And like you said, you shouldn't eat at the same restaurant
No,
twice.
you shouldn't.
However, you definitely have your favorites, and
Mm-hmm.
there's some really amazing things, places that you can go and enjoy with your family, and the food's really special to me. And of course, I grew up playing baseball, so
Yep.
sports and everything is a huge thing for me, and I love being able to have a basketball team, a baseball, football, different things like the Houston Open that comes here golf-wise, and there's so many things that Houston has to offer. I mean, we've even had Super Bowls here in the city,
Right.
so it's so cool to see the things that Houston has and that we can all enjoy in the place that we call home.
All right, so Austin, we've talked a little bit about Houston. Tell me about some of your favorite communities surrounding Houston.
Yeah, like I said, so I'm originally from the north side of town, so I still have a huge portion of my family. Pretty much my whole family lives in the greater Houston area, especially on that north side of town. So I make quite a few trips up to the Spring, Woodlands area, and really enjoy going up there to see my grandparents and my parents and my sister and all my nieces. Getting up there and just being able to spend time with them. There's so much that we can do in that
Yeah.
in the different communities throughout Houston, and being on the north side, the Woodlands, the Waterway, the Pavilion, everything that has the things that you can enjoy, everything up to Lake Conroe. There's so much that you can enjoy
Absolutely.
on the north side of town in that community. And now living in the south side of town, and pretty much I live in Bay Area, Houston now. So I've got to experience the different aspects and different things that each community has to offer,
Yeah.
from being down here and being on the coast and being able to make a quick trip to Galveston and being able to take my daughters and go to the beach and really enjoy those things. And then having downtown Interloop right
Right.
in the middle where we can still go to a play, go to the zoo, go to the arts district, and enjoy some of everything that Houston has to offer. And that's one thing that so excites me about this podcast and being here with you and the people that we're going to get to talk with and share their stories is we're going to touch on all those communities. Yeah. We're going to touch on the north side of town. We're going to touch on Bay Area, Houston, everything from the northeast side, Kingwood. Though we want to bring you insight into those communities and some of the history about those communities, like the process of Clear Lake being annexed and all those different types of things, and how Houston works and how the communities all flow together and what's available for us. So
yeah, I love how every community has a personality.
Yep.
You know, even where I live in Friendswood, we have our 4th of July parade every year. We have our, fireworks. We have our everything that Christmas, Santa in the park. I love how every community has something beautiful and unique to offer. And I'm excited about exploring that together on this podcast.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing. And having those people that live in those different communities, because that's really what makes the greater Houston area whole and what makes it home. Houston is such a unique city where everybody comes in and you can enjoy so much, and it's going to be really cool. So being in the Bay Area, Houston, Friendswood area, what are some of the things you like to do?
We love Kemah. I love to take my boys down to Kemah. The boardwalk down there is really fun. Also Pleasure Pier, like you mentioned, in Galveston, the Strand. I love that we're in driving distance of any of those things, which is so cool whenever you have people to come visit or even just for a weekend yourselves as a family. So we also love the restaurants, just like up and down all over the greater Bay Area has some great restaurants too.
Yeah, and it's so cool to really just be able to see the different communities. Like you said, each has their own personality, and we hope that we can bring those personalities to you from the people that we bring onto the podcast and the people that we get to have conversations with. Houston is home, and every section of Houston is what makes it home and what brings it all together. And that's what we're so excited about, building community, getting to serve the community and helping people find their community by just the stories we get to share and kind of going through this process. So
coming up, we'll talk about some of those communities and kind of hone in and spotlight. We talk to some people that live there, highlight what's going on there in events or upcoming construction, things like that.
Yeah, we're going to be over everything and hopefully just bring something that you can take each and every episode, something about Houston and something about the communities that surround it, and really diving into the different communities and bringing some insight. So really excited for that and really being able to dive into that. It's been awesome getting to chat with you kind of about Houston and why we call Houston home. We've talked everything from the different communities, and I'm so excited to really dive into those other communities. And really, we appreciate y'all joining us here and listening and taking the time. It's a great privilege to be able to share and to be able to talk about the city that we love and that we call home.
So we would love to hear from you. Comment below and let us know, what community are you from? What do you love about Houston? Is there a person in Houston that's doing amazing things that we should invite on and share their story? We'd love to hear from you.
Thank y'all so much for tuning in to Houston is Home and listening to why we call Houston home. Be sure to follow us on all major social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. The link is in the description. Also, be sure to subscribe to us on all major podcast platforms. We look forward to joining us in the future and to listening to what Houston has to offer and why so many people call Houston home.